other data types. We call them as collections, right? So we have three type of collections in Salesforce. Number one is list, number two is set, number three is map, right? So we'll discuss list, set, map. So all three collections are uh, classes in Salesforce. So we have different methods in these classes. So we'll discuss all the methods we have in list, similarly for set and map, right? So I'm opening my dev console here. Let's close it. Okay. Okay, so let's just first discuss about list. I'm just opening list class in an article that is provided by Salesforce. So I'm just opening it, list class Apex. So as we know, right, and this is the Salesforce article, so you can open it. So as we know, class is what? Class is container. It can have data members and member methods, right? So we can use methods by just creating the object of the class and object dot, and we can use the method we have in that class, right? So we have this list class, right, and it has multiple methods. So why we use collections? So if you need to store multiple values at the same time, so let's say for an example, let's say if you are retrieving account data from Salesforce database, right? So for that you can use a query, database query that we will learn further in our course. So you will use query in order to get data from Salesforce database, but after retrieving that data, you have to store that data in Apex code, right? But you don't have any kind of data type to store that, because you need a similar kind of data type to store the data that is retrieved by SQL query, right? So for that we need collections, and not only for that, if you need to store multiple similar kind of data, you can use collection, right? So collection is also a data type. So list is a class, but it is also a data type, right? So how will you use that? That we will discuss in today's class. So as you know, list is a class. Any question till now from anyone?
No.
Okay, taking it as no. So you can see, I mean, it is in class and it has different methods that we need to use. Let me just go to that method list. So these are the methods we have, right? So as you can see here, the following are the method for list. All are instance methods, right? So you have to create the instance of the list class, and then only you can use these methods. If you want to add any element in the list, then you can use add method. You have the parameter that list element. You just need to pass the value that you want to add in the list. So it will add a element in the list. How list how we can see, I mean, if the element is added in the list or not, you can simply print the list, and then you can see if the list element is added or not. So let's just see the syntax of list, and we'll create an object of the list class, and then probably we'll use this method, right? So just to demo this example, I will use execute anonymous window provided by Salesforce in developer console, right? So what is the use of this window is you can execute any code. It won't store in your org, but it will only just execute, and on the runtime you can see the output of that code, right? So to open execute anonymous window, you can simply click on debug, and the first link is open execute anonymous window. You can simply click on it, and you will see here there is a window that is now open. So you just need to write your code here, there are two buttons, execute and execute highlighted. So if you have multiple code lines in your window and you just want to execute some of these, you can simply select those and you can simply click on execute highlighted. So it means that only highlighted lines of code will be executed. And if you want to execute the entire code that we have in this window, you can simply click on this execute button. If you want to open the logs simultaneously, then you can simply keep this checkbox checked, right? Open logs. So it will open the log after execution of your code, right? Any question, guys? Anything you have in your mind, please ask. Okay, taking it as no. So what is the syntax of a list collection, right? So you can simply, type list. This is the syntax. You have to type list. So it is not case sensitive, so you can type small or capital, whatever you want, and then less than greater than sign, and in between this less than greater than sign you have to provide the value, like what type of data collection you want to store here in this list collection. So let's say if you want to store a string, integer, because there should be a type of value that you will store in the list. Make sense? So we need to provide the value type here. So let's say I want to just store the names. So I will put
वो
string,
रजिस्टर देना.
right? So this is the string. You can also create a list of object. So if you want to store any object data, then you can also uh, create a data type as object. So as object is a data type we have, right? Then you can put a name of the variable, and you know how to create a object of any class, right? So I am using, this is the syntax of creating an object of list class, like we have for other classes. Like similarly, we can create an object of the list class. The only difference is you have to provide the data type of the value that you want to store in this list collection, right? So now obj is the object of list class, and every method we have in this list can be accessed using obj dot, right? It is not a static class, so you have to create an object of this class. So you can simply type obj and you can simply put a dot and you can access every method we have in this list, right? So we will only discuss some important methods, those you will use going forward in your Apex development, right? So I will only demo those, right? So let's just first discuss add element. This is the most important one. So basically it will be used to add element in the list, right? It is, list is a kind of dynamic array, right? List is what? List is a kind of dynamic array. Clear? So obj dot add is the method, right? And there is a parameter that we need to pass. So parameter is what? Parameter is value that you want to store in the collection. So let's say I want to store Prateek, because it is the data type of the value that we are storing in this collection is string. So we can store either a character or a word or a sentence here, right? So obj dot add Prateek, I have stored one value. So this value will be stored on index 0, like array, right? So in list also we have a index for a particular value. So let's say and that index will always start from 0. So if I will store another value, what will be the index of this? What will be the index of this?
1.
1, right? So this value will be stored on index number 1. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so index number 1 will be used to store the value as the second value, that is Sumit. So index will always start from 0 and it will go till the time the last value will be stored in the collection, right? So if you want to store any third value, so you can simply put it here like this. Rohit, and this will be stored in on index 2. Clear? Clear to everyone? If you want to see these values, you can simply print them. You know how to print the value. You have to use system.debug. Debug is a method from the system class that we are calling, right? So we don't have to create an object of system class because it should be static, right? So we can directly use it. So if you want to put some text, you can put here. Oh, क्या हो गया ऐसे? Right. So, and then we have plus, and you can simply type obj. Okay. So let's just print and see. Let's see the data we have. So we if you just want to see the system, either you can simply find your debug statement that is here, right? But if you just want to see this debug statement, you can filter it out by just checking this checkbox debug only. As soon as you will hit this checkbox, every other log will go away, and only system.debug statement will be visible in the logs, right? So here you can see this is the text that we have put in our system.debug statement. Here are the values from collection, and the first value that we have stored is Prateek, second is Sumit, third one is Rohit. So similarly, it will store all the values that you will use or you will put in the collection using add method, right? And Pratik is stored on index number 0. Similarly, Sumit is on 1, Rohit is on 2, right? So this is how it works. Any question from anyone? No question? Let's go further then. So now the second method that we have, add index list element. So the another quality of list is it will always maintain the order. So let's say if you are adding value Prateek as first, then it will always be first in the index, right? So and it always allow duplicate value also. So if you will again store Prateek, then it will allow Prateek to be stored on next index. So duplicate values are also allowed in list collection, right? And it will always store the value in the same order it is coming from the source, right? Now the second method is, again this is the same method add, but this method was doing what was adding the values on the you know uh, increasing manner. So let's say if the first value is stored on 0, increasing index, and the second is on 1, third one is on second index. So if you want to store a value on a particular index, then you can use this one. So let's say if I want to store any value in between Sumit and Rohit. Sumit is on index number 1. Instead of Rohit, I want to store another value on index number 2, that is, let's say Arun, right? So what I will use is, sorry, obj dot add, or this time along with Arun, I will pass the index also. So this time I am passing index number 2 and the value that I want to store. Clear? So this is the value that I will store here. Clear? So this value Rohit will be shifted to index number 3 and the Arun will be stored on index number 2. Let's print it and we'll see if Arun will be uh, visible in between Sumit and Rohit. So let's just check it. See here, now Arun is in between Sumit and Rohit. So Rohit is shifted by one index and Rohit is now on index number 3.
Away from the bracket came, like
Which
it was
bracket?
not before Prateek and after Rohit. There's a
Ah,
bracket
okay,
closing
okay.
and yeah.
Actually, it is just to display the collection in the debug log
So it is by default or
by default. By default,
okay, okay, by
yeah, right. So this is how it works. Any other question from anyone? Okay, let's move ahead with another example then. So this is the third method we have is it is used to add one list to another. So let's say we have this list and let's say we have another list similar of this obj1 and I'm just adding 111 on this thing, right? So now obj1 is that insert, right? Okay, so we have two lists now. So I just want obj the entire list obj to be copied in obj1. So obj1 will keep all its values, right? And then it will it will also add all the values from obj. So how it will work? Let me show you that. So what you can do is obj dot, sorry, let me just add obj1 here. Obj1 dot add all. This is the method and will pass the another list called obj here, right? So this will be the another. So what we are doing here is, so we are adding these four values in obj1. Also we are copying this entire list to obj1. Make sense to everyone? So let's just
Yeah.
execute it. Okay, I'm missing anything here. Where? Okay. This time we have two debug statement. One is to print obj and another one is to print obj1. So here we have obj as it is. Obj1 first, it is adding four values that we have added, and again it is copied from index number 4. It is copied all the values from obj. Any question from anyone? Any question, anyone? No? Okay.
No, sir.
Yeah, हेल बताइए. Okay, no question. Okay, and this is for SAT. So we haven't discussed SAT yet. So I'm not going to discuss this method, but it is same as we copied one list to another. We can also copy one SAT to a list. So this same add all method, but instead of a list object, we will pass SAT object here. Okay, clear. So what is the use of clear? You can read it here. It remove all element from list, consequently setting the list length to 0, right? If you just want to clear out the entire list, you can simply type list.clear. So if I will type obj1 dot clear here, then there will be nothing in the obj. Let's just check. Entire list will be blank. See here, clear? Clone, it will make a duplicate copy, right? It will make a duplicate copy of the list. Let me show you that as well. Let me just comment this out. I'm just copying one more, creating one more list obj2. And there is one more thing. I mean, if you don't know how to use that list method, you can simply click on this. It will take you to the example, right? So here you can see, you can simply use q1.clone into q2, right? So you can simply clone one list to another. So if you don't know how to, use that example, you can simply do this. So let me just go back to our methods. I haven't used this method. I think I have used it. Clone, and what it is asking. So you can see there is no parameter. So it means simply it will ask equal to. So let me just print obj2 here. Let's see what it will give you. See here, it is giving you all the values that we have in obj1. Clear, everyone? So this is the another method we have, right? So what we did is we have just copied obj, printed obj2, and what we are doing in obj2, we are just, cloning obj1 by this line, right? So let me just go to another method. Contains. So if there is any list element, it will return true. If there is no list element similar to that, it will return false. So let me show you that. So in obj2, 2 dot contains. And in contains, we will pass. In contains, we will pass any value that you want to check. So let's say if I want to check Arun1 is there or not. And then I will simply print it. Instead of obj, I will print this. Okay, so let me just print this out. The answer is true, right? Because Arun1 is there. So you can see the answer is true. But if I will type something that is not there, I will add 3, 4, 5 here. And let's just execute it again, because Arun1, 3, 4, 5 is not there. So it should return false. It is again returning true. Something is happening there. Oh, we haven't added there. You can see here the value that is coming here is false. So this is how you can use contains. Deep clone, actually it is similarly to clone, but it will, if you are cloning one object record into another object record, it generally preserve ID and the timestamp on which that object record was created. So we are not going to discuss this one, right? Another one is equals. So if you just want to compare two lists, right, then it will you can use this equal and you can pass the list. So let's say list one dot equals and list two you will pass as a parameter. So both the list and their parameters will be checked. You want me to show you this example, or you can do that? Okay, there is no answer. Let me do
Will do.
this.
Will do.
Okay, you guys do. Okay, thank you.
We'll
Then
do
we
it,
have.
sir.
Okay, just if you are not clear, just click on this and then we will discuss in tomorrow class if you will face any issue. Then another method is to get the index. So let's say if you get the value that is available on the index, right? So you will just pass the index and it will return the value that is stored on that particular index. So get method is used for that. So for example, let me show you. So you can see here, right? So index number 0 we have Prateek, index number 2 we have index number 1 we have Sumit, index number 2 we have Arun, index number 3 we have Rohit. So if I want to get Rohit as a value, so what I will do is obj dot get, and I will pass the index number 3 here. So whatever is stored on index number 3, that will be printed in the first debug statement. Here the value should be Rohit. So let's just see. You can see in the first debug statement it is now printing Rohit. So if you just want to print the value of a particular index, you will use get index method. If you just want to use the get as object type, so it return the token of as object type that make up to the list of as object. So it will basically give you the type of as object, the token type of as object. And then we have hash code. I have never used it. Just try it with the example by clicking on it. If you will face any issue, we'll discuss it tomorrow. Index of list element. So it will return the index of the first occurrence of a specified limit. So let specify element. So let's say Prateek is coming 2-3 times in the list, so, and you will pass the list element name. So in this we were passing um, index and the value will coming as an result. But here we will pass Prateek, so it will check the first occurrence of Prateek and it will return the index. Clear? Is empty, return true if the list has 0 element, if return false if the list has any element. Okay, iterator. It is basically return the instance of iterator of the list. Remove index. So if you want to remove any value from a particular index, you can simply like this. We used add index here, and then if you want to remove the value from the index, you will use remove index. Set index element. So basically earlier we were using add index list element, then it was shifting the value that was already on a particular index. But if you just want to replace the value, then you can simply use set index and the list element. Just try to use it, and if you will face any issue, we'll discuss it in tomorrow class. Then the size, if you want to return the number of element in the list, you can simply get the size and it will return the number of element we have in the list. And by default the list is sorted as in descending. If you want to sort it in ascending order, you can use list.sort and it will be sorted in ascending order. If the list is not holding string data and if you want to convert it into a string, it is a conversion of type, then it will return the string representation of the list. So this is used to convert the string. So these are the methods we have in list. Just try to use it. I have used couple of them, and just try. Before tomorrow we'll have daily class for this list, set and map. Tomorrow we will discuss set class, and set is also having the similar method. We'll discuss the difference between list and set tomorrow, right? So let me show you that set class, so you can pick the first one. It also has the same methods. Everything is same, only the syntax will be different. See, every method is same. So we'll discuss these methods in tomorrow class. Just try to execute all these methods in developer console, and let me know if you will face any issue. Just ping me on WhatsApp. If I will get time, we'll discuss in the daytime, else we'll discuss in our class. Okay, any question from anyone?
So what is token of S object?
Okay, let me show you. Just give me one sec. Just give me one sec. I have to use database query for this. Arun, just note it down. We'll show you, because if I will
Yeah,
show you the
no problem.
database
No problem.
query, I
Sure,
will
sure.
if I will show you the database query, then others will not understand, because we haven't discussed database query. So just note it
No
down.
problem.
I
Sure.
mean, it will tell you. Let's say if you are using sObject as an variable, and you are passing the account data into sObject. So what it will return is, it will return what type of data we are getting from the query. Let's say it is account, contact, opportunity. I mean, it will return the
Okay.
schema of
Okay.
sObject type, the type of
Got it.
sObject you are using, you are getting the data
Sure.
basically. But I mean, for that I have to use a SOQL query, in order to display or store the data here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Fine. Mhm.
we'll
Thank you.
show you. Just note it down when we will discuss our SOQL query.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,